Okay, so let me first explain my first idea for Genius Hour. My juniors read a book called The Dark Side of Fast Food. It's Fast Food Nation. Um, so I originally had thought that I would do how does diet affect a child's academic success, which we can probably all agree that it's a lot. But I thought about it. The good and the bad side, and I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So I talked to Casey, and I was like, what if I turn this around? Because a Genius Hour doesn't have to be how does it affect my classroom, it can be my community. So I made mine extremely personal. But and your diet and lifestyle affects how you work and how I deal with my kids. So I guess it does affect my classroom as well. So this is my website. I did the ABCs of nutrition. And here is about me. And last year I actually did a big weight loss thing for myself. And this is me at the beginning and where I ended up. And I'm going to actually have a movie I'll show. And I did my badges page. If you go to my website and look at my research, I have quite a few TED Talks and a lot from Jamie Oliver. I really like Jamie Oliver and his ideas, especially about food in the school. Our cafeterias are not doing our children justice.
The government's not doing our children.
My reflection, I put basically what a day's meal would be for me. And I don't want to go over all the details because then there's no reason to watch the film. But I'll talk more about it after I show you my film. And I made my doctor actually, I went to a doctor while I did this project about my weight. And she had me make this little flow chart. So I did it on my iPad and pick collage about my outlets when I want to eat. And I'll just tell you, it's made me sick all day to think about showing this movie to y'all. Casey asked me when I first started this project, are you sure you're okay with putting yourself out there that personally? And I turned to Carrie Campbell and I said, hey, Carrie, I'm fat. And she said, oh, so am I. I was like, well, everybody already knows it, but to actually show yourself that way is tough. So here is my movie. Hi, my name is Lisa, and today I decided that I would start a documentary about my life, about this journey that I am going to embark on. Well, this journey that I already started and kind of stopped. Last year, I decided I would start a journey, and I lost 67 and I did really well. And I felt great about myself. And I did it all to train to climb up Pikes Peak. So I made it up Pikes Peak, and it was amazing. And when I came home, I felt a little bit lost. I floundered. And believe me, before I went to Pikes Peak, I was still overweight, but I had lost a lot of weight, and I was in good shape. I was pretty active. I was very athletic. I could jog. I could climb for 8 hours a day, and it was okay. It hurt, but I could do it. Well, some of the weight has come back, not all of it, but I'm not happy with where I'm at, and I've got to start over. But I also realized that this is going to be a vicious cycle for me, this up and down weight that I can't control. And I need to figure out why do I feel like this, and why can't I fix it? Growing up, I was very active when I was little. I did drill team. I was a cheerleader, and this is all when I was a little girl. And then my family moved when I was in 5th grade. And when I moved, my regular friends I lost. New location for me. And I guess you can say that is when my weight started to go up, slowly but surely. In high school, I thought I was so fat. Now I would kill to be that size. I was not fat at all, but I really thought I was back then. I do have a memory, though. Part of this documentary is how does my diet and lifestyle affect me physically and spiritually. I remember in Sunday school, when I was in high school, a Sunday school teacher looked at me. Well, the lesson was about, meeting the man that's right for you and being married to a Christian and waiting for the right man. And she looked at me and said, some of you need to be okay with the fact that God may not have a man in your plan. And that you may not ever get married. And that you'll be alone. That hurt. And it's haunted me to this day. And that may be true. Or maybe I've looked at it with it for so long that I've made it true. I don't know. But self-confidence, it didn't help it any. It didn't help it at all. So, where do I go from here? In 2007, I had a gastric bypass. At that point, I weighed 350 pounds. Yeah, it was bad. 350 pounds. I lost down to 220 pounds. So I lost over 100 pounds. And then slowly but surely, it started going back up. It didn't stay off. And I can tell you why. I stopped being active. The weight started to climb back on. And before I knew it, I got to where I was at 290 pounds. And that is where my journey started. At 290 pounds last year, I decided I'd had enough. So I found a weight loss doctor. And I had a revision done to my gastric bypass to make it work better for me, because apparently back in 2007, it was not the perfect process yet. And so he fixed it so that it would make it easier for me to lose weight again. It's not a cure, it's a tool. I still have to make the decision to eat right. I still have to make the decision for what portion I eat. Because believe it or not, even when your stomach is smaller, you can still eat a lot. Your stomach will still stretch, and I can make myself sick eating. It still happens. And I can still make bad choices. Sometimes sugar makes me sick, sometimes it doesn't. It's a catch-22. So sometimes I choose to eat it, even if I know I might get sick. But I still have to make the decision to be active as well. So last year, I started walking. That's all it started with, was a walk. Barely could walk a mile the first time. I don't think I walked a mile. And it increased every day. And I found a love for nature photography. So when I would walk, I would start taking pictures of the world around me. And I loved it. And I was happy. And I had the surgery. And the weight started to come off. It wasn't fast, but it did come off, and I could do it. And then I made this goal for myself that I wanted to climb at Pikes Peak, hike to the top. Who does that? So I did this. I found a friend. Her name's April, and she decided she would do it with me. And I inspired her to work as well. She wanted to lose some weight, and we worked out together, and we hiked that mountain together. It was an amazing journey. So now Pikes Peak is done. I found out after Pikes Peak that one of my lower discs is deteriorating and it's causing me a lot of back pain. And then I sprained my knee and I could barely walk for 2 weeks. I hobbled around, limped, or actually I just walked like an old lady. But my exercise completely stopped. Between the back pain and the knee pain, no more exercise. So the weight has started to come back. I have not gained it all back, but I am getting closer with every day that I don't do something to getting back to the way I was. I don't want to be back where I was. All that work for nothing, I don't want to have done that. So I'm starting over.
Sorry, it clipped out.
So you get depressed, and you down, and your coping mechanism is eating. Oh, yeah. I need you to do a care plan, because that's going to help you with this project too. Whether it's a teaching plan or a care plan, a coping care plan. When you're jonesing, when you're sad, identify the feelings that lead to the behavior, and then what you do. It can be an algorithm, sad, mad, powerless. That's how you feel. And you can have a line that says, I go shop, I go eat, I go to bed, I isolate. And what that leads to depression, leads to eating, leads to weight gain, leads to hypertension, leads to feeling of worthlessness. Plan it all out this direction. Then have your care plan go the other direction with a more powerful green flashcard, and all the things that work that way.
Okay, so it's a good day to be walking, but it started to rain outside, so April and I are walking inside Home Depot. Apparently, if you walk every aisle in Home Depot, every aisle back and forth, you get an exactly 1 mile. So we're going to see how many times we can walk the store.
Just so you know.
Well, it is finally, it is not nasty weather, and you can actually walk outside. So we're about to start a trail day terrace. Pretty nice trail. We haven't been on it yet. It's paved, has benches, has places for bathrooms and everything. Here's April. And here's me. And we're going to get started. Quick update on me. I started back to school this week, which has helped in getting back into a routine and planning my meals and my lunches. That's made a big difference. And I think I'm starting to actually see weight finally move. It's going slowly and a very little bit at a time, but it's better than nothing. So I'm happy with that. Hey y'all, so in the past couple of weeks, I've lost 6.5 pounds. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's been kind of tough, but I persevered, and I know I can do better. I don't think I've walked nearly as much as I should, so I'm about to jump that up. I have made some new goals for myself. This summer, I'm going on a cruise to Cozumel, Belize, and Mahogany Bay. I'm going to go climb some Mayan ruins. But my biggest goal, I mean, the cruise is exciting, but in 2016, I'm going to do Pikes Peak again, and I'm going to make it all the way to the top. No shortcuts, no detours, all the way to the top by foot. So I have 18 months to start training. I'm really pumped up. It's time to really get busy, and I'm really excited. So we'll see where this leads. Have a good day, all. Hey everyone, it is time to do a quick summary of my semester. The weight loss is not what I really wanted it to be. I've lost about 16 pounds this semester, which to me doesn't seem like very much or enough. I tell myself all the time, though, to quit thinking about the number on the scale and think about the quality of my life, which this semester actually has improved greatly. I did learn that even more so than diet and exercise, the most important thing that I was leaving out was quality sleep. And I was really having a hard time with depression and being so tired all the time. And of course, the more tired you are, the more you want to eat because you need the energy. So I talked to a doctor and I got some help with that, and my sleep has greatly improved, and my energy level has skyrocketed, and going out and walking seems like fun again, which I'm really excited. I've already picked a few places to go hike this spring, so I'm excited about that. Overall, it's really important for me personally to be very careful with diet and exercise, and most of all the sleep, because I've realized that when I'm not feeling good, I'm very stressed out, and little things bother you even more than they should. So getting the water in, getting a walk in every day, it really helps me to wind down and to relax, and I just feel overall better, and I think I deal and with myself, I do what I'm supposed to be doing. It's not easy to get it in all the time, and I'm still struggling this semester to make it a regular habit. Last year, it seemed to be a lot easier for me just to jump in and want to go outside every day and take a walk. And sometimes I really have to push myself out the door to get myself going down the road. But I'm always so much happier once I do it, and I feel better about myself once I've done it. So this semester has been a struggle, but doing this project, I think, has put some things in perspective for me, that it cannot always be about the number on the scale. I really need to think about the quality of my life and not just the quantity on the scale. The lack of sleep really took a big part of my life and made it very hard to get through. So I feel a lot better now that things are starting to be fixed. So if you think you can't do it, you're wrong. Anybody can do it. It's just a matter of deciding what you want for yourself and knowing that you're worth it. And every little thing you do, every glass of water, every little bit extra that you walk across a parking lot, parking farther away from the door, anything, does make a difference. And it makes me feel better knowing that I can do it. It is hard. I'm not going to say that this was an easy journey. It's still ongoing, and hopefully when you see me next year at this same time, I'll have made even more progress.
And I thought I'd mention to you, it's playing at something. The sleep problem that I was having is actually, they call it hypopnea. And I didn't even know I had this problem. I don't have sleep apnea. Doesn't think correctly, and oxygen was dropping extremely low, and my heart was skipping beats. And basically, the doctor said that if somebody was in the room with me, they probably would have thought I was dead at night. But so I have one of those fancy, gorgeous, sexy CPAP machines now. How tired I always was. Actually, I almost had a couple of car accidents this semester, falling asleep while I was driving, and I knew I was falling asleep and I couldn't stop it. So, but that is, now that that's fixed, I feel like I can go on and